back to the Artie Lange Show. I'm sitting here, one of the best comics of my generation, certainly, and a good friend of mine. He's got a new special out on Epics. It's his stand-up. And, from Saturday Night Live, everything, the great Jim Breuer. What's up, Jim?
Artie, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm so glad this guy's a football player, because I said when he shook my hand,
Yeah.
I felt like it was a boxer.
Well,
He's got big hands.
You have a lot in common in the sense that he's a Metallica guy. He knows
Big
the guys from Metallica.
guy, metal.
He was a Raider for 5 years.
Okay.
And an Eagle
It's a
for
tough
2
gig.
years. Fullback, too. A
Nowadays.
dying position.
So what is it like? All right, because the Raiders were only good.
Back then we were good. I was there. The last year that I was there was 2002, when we ended up going to the Super Bowl.
My God, dude, you look like you're 24.
Thank you.
I know, after football, too, I know.
That's very nice of you.
I look like his uncle. I've been in comedy.
I was about to go on this whole spiel. Like, what's it like being on a horrid team?
Yeah, no, we were good, man.
They lost
You were
to
in
Tampa
that?
Bay. They got killed by Tampa Bay.
All right. Wow. Yeah. I wouldn't expect. Wow.
Thank you.
You think
but-
you drink a lot of water?
But well, you do look very. It is. He
Really?
makes a good point. And I've been working with you now for 2 months. And I haven't been nice enough to point this out.
Well, that really, I haven't heard that.
You
before.
look fantastic.
I always
you played
assume-
football, and he had a thing. Can I say this? He had a thing where when he put his helmet on, he developed from getting hit in the head so much.
Yeah.
He developed like 2 horns right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
And you see like where his forehead comes
I
out.
thought that was metal.
No, well, it sort of is.
It is very metal. It is very metal.
Every
the
time
way
he put a
it looks
helmet on,
now.
his head bled, which
Yeah.
really was rock and roll, which really put
was.
the fear of God into guys.
It was.
And on top of it, James Hetfield will wear your jersey, right?
Yeah, that was the coolest part of my entire
Do
career.
we have a picture? Show Jim a picture of him with the mullet. Do we have him on the
No,
Eagles?
not the mullet. That was a joke.
Wait, you have no idea.
It was a joke.
Jim, you have
for the
no-
media guy,
you have
it
no
was a
idea.
joke. For the media guide, I thought it would be funny to cut my long hair into a mullet because then they would have to put it in the media guide.
No, but there's mullets, but there's
year.
mullets and then there's mullets. This is extraordinary.
Is this like
this was in
southeast
Philly.
mullet? That's a Biloxi, Mississippi mullet. That's a Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida.
Looks like a guy in
mullet.
Scotland. A guy in Scotland who just dares you to make fun of him for wearing a kilt.
That's a guy that says Bo Cephas.
A guy just gonna beat you up with a shillelagh.
You like you like that show, Swamp People?
That was a social
Nice.
experiment right
Wow.
there. I wore that for 3 weeks.
Yeah. So now, Jim, you're a big Met fan. You must love this. A-Rod
you know
stuff. I mean, look, the Mets just swept the Yanks, but
Yeah,
then
and then they lost.
They go right back into then they lose to Miami.
Right back to at a diehard Yankee fan go, is this the beginning of something? No, listen. Take it from a Met fan. This was a fluke. We caught you with your pants
Look,
down.
not a 3-gamer, 4-game sweep. Very nice. I mean, you dominated the Post and the news for 4 days.
Listen. I really believe so many things are rigged nowadays that even that was.
Have you become a conspiracy guy? Is that what's happening?
100%.
Yeah.
I even believe there's a part of it where Hal's like, this guy A-Rod, he's killing me. Help me out. We're gonna bet on these games.
Well,
Boys,
listen,
I need you to drop these games.
The way Madoff ripped off the Mets, Scott Boras and A-Rod have ripped off the Yankees. They might pull off. This might be the greatest scam of all time. He's going to get suspended for 100 games and probably not playing. He's going to be disgraced. I doubt. Maybe he won't play again. They got 5 years, 120 mil, I think, left on his
125?
deal.
No, 100.
Yeah,
no.
but who's dumber?
I don't know.
The one that signed them?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Or that's the catch-22. I get just as annoyed when you sign them. Like, why would you sign a guy?
I mean, in 07, to give him another 10 years.
A known Reuter.
He wasn't.
he wasn't,
I
though. He wasn't, though.
Let me tell you something.
But
Let me tell you something.
Inside baseball, I agree. People had to know.
Everybody knew.
Yeah,
Agents knew.
Yeah.
Managers knew. Owners knew. ESPN people knew. Everybody knew.
Canseco was the only one yelling. Everyone called him an idiot, but
You know, Artie, what it reminds me of was like comics. When comics would start, because it makes all the sense in the world when guys are horrible. I can literally tell when players are going to go on a roid rage, okay? Because every time you watch to share to Sheridan is very suspect. We'll get into
no,
that.
I know. A lot of people are questionable of him.
Very suspect. His neck is very goofy looking, and you can tell when his eyes are really. He came back from the Yankees. He's 0 for 9, and he's gonna grand slam, 3 for 5, another 18 homers.
Well, there's a lot of guys. You know, there's a lot of guys who say these guys know how to cycle. They get a trainer who teaches them how to cycle. They can beat a test. And all that. Is that true? You claim to never have seen steroids.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to it.
I can't believe you never saw
I know that there was a science behind. I know guys who would cheat the drugs of abuse test. I mean, I know guys who would smoke.
Oh, you mean like cocaine and stuff?
Well, they
like
would
that.
test. They would test you for steroids. There were 2 separate tests.
Right.
Steroids and.
Like party
ephedrine.
drug.
The
party
steroids and ephedrine were together, and then the drugs of abuse, coke and
party drugs.
yeah,
Right.
THC and that stuff. Guys would everyone knew
Well, how would
when
they
you
do
were going to
that?
get tested.
How would they do that?
Everyone knew when you'd get tested for the drugs of abuse.
But
It was
weed
the
is tough.
first
Weed
week-
lingers. You gotta really clean yourself up.
Well, that's the thing. Guys said, well, hey, we get tested once the first week of training camp, so don't smoke for 30 days before training camp, and then once that's done,
So, but
have at it.
your point, Jim, though, is that the Yankees just have themselves to blame because they had to have known, and they're like, look, we're going to take they took a risk, they rolled the dice,
They rolled the dice, they got
getting
this
screwed.
yo-yo.
So why feel sorry for him?
And
I don't feel sorry for him. Just as a Yankee fan, it sucks. That's all. But
Right. What I was going to say before is you look at some of these players already, just like a comic. And I tell young comics, listen, I know you like having a beer before you go on stage,
yeah,
but there's going to be, they start believing the beer is
yeah.
what makes them funny.
Definitely.
Or what makes them. A-Rod never didn't do steroids.
Right.
And that's why he's god-awful. Braun and all these guys are awful because their whole life, that's the only
you
thing
think
that gave
even
them
those in the
confidence.
Seattle years?
Oh, come on, yes. He sucks.
That's what I think is hilarious about some of these steroid guys. A-Rod, I swear to God, that wasn't on purpose. A-Rod is finding out he's not good at the game of baseball.
Yes. Half these guys are realizing I'm awful.
Which means, think about it, which means in life, he's just a jerk off.
No, listen.
Yes.
He was not doing steroids in high
He's
school.
a jerk off.
He wasn't doing steroids
How
in
do you
high
know?
school
Yeah,
when
but maybe
when every scout said he was the first 5-tool whatever.
He's a
I
tool.
don't buy it.
5-tool. Yeah,
I don't
he's
buy it.
a
You know
tool
why?
5 times.
I buy it.
I buy it 100%. I think late 80s, early 90s. I specifically remember graduating in 85.
Right.
And one of these kids that was going out for the football team, I couldn't stand this kid. He started asking the health teachers, like, what does steroids do to you? And I'm like, what is he talking
In
about?
85.
And that was 1985, a kid from high school. So
I know a kid. Yeah,
Yeah, because
there was a kid
A-Rod
from
is,
my high
I'm
school
saying
who did
exact
it, too.
age. And A-Rod's about 8 years younger than us. So, yeah, Royds
Hey,
came
he
about.
came
And he
in-
was like the top echelon of kids getting recruited Miami. Like, there was probably all over the place.
of course.
Yeah.
And the Latinos are
Now I
lighting
agree
it
with you.
up.
I'm saying
Now I
you didn't
agree.
need it then.
Read the
The
names.
Latinos are lighting it up.
Where are the names?
Here.
They're going back and buying
Where are
cement
they?
mansions.
You gotta
They're not crazy. I'm not-
Well, he just sold his place in Miami for $30 million.
Yeah, who's the dummy?
I know. Exactly.
names.
There's a lot of dummies out there.
Is there any Mets on there? That's all I care about.
I didn't see a lot of Mets,
As
no.
long as I don't find David Wright on there.
Okay, listen, what name stands out here?
Braun.
Alex Rodriguez, Mikel Cabrera, Bartolo Colon,
Melky, we know already.
Grandel, Cruz, Francisco Cervelli, Jesus Montero, Johnny Peralta, Cesar Puello, Fernando Martinez, Everth Cabrera, Fatino de los Santos, Jordan Norberto, and Ryan Braun.
There goes the entire Marlins team. The Marlins are now. That's it. They're disqualified.
Boy, yeah, the Marlins. The Marlins are the typical organization that sums up this generation too. Just a bunch of just an overrated, terrible organization that just when they win, sell everybody off and just don't care. And now they're mired in mediocrity now, and I like it. And they were supposed to be great, and now
they're horrifying. And the Mets are worse.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break.
Mets are
We got to
worse.
take a break. We'll come back with Jim Breuer. What's the name of the special, Jim?
And you'll like this. And laughter for all.
Nice. Nice. And laughter for all. Jim Breuer.
Laughter.
Does anybody remember laughter?